All right, we have Raymond Warner. Raymond Warner is a professional scooter rider. He's a little bit Braille era. He was kind of like the Braille. Whoa. That was weird. He's kind of like the Braille of scootering. He very big channel and was like absolutely crushing it kind of back in the day. Then sort of these days is a little bit more like wondering what's next kind of. But I like him a lot. I've hung out with him. He came to Braille a couple times. But he could put this word in the title, tariffs. Everyone's favorite word, tariffs. I was curious to see what scooter industry says about tariffs because I made the skate video talking about the tariffs and stuff, and I think it's a developing and an interesting topical thing to talk about. Looks like this video didn't resonate super well with his audience, but that's probably because it's very informative and a lot of talkings, but I'm curious to see what he says.
Okay, well, if you guys are normally here just for the scootering videos, like the full-on riding, this is not one of those. This is a quick little talking video. I think this is kind of important to talk about. So if you guys come here specifically for the riding, tune back in next week. See you then. This is not one of those
I'm here
videos.
for the talking.
So the Vault just posted this video on their Instagram just talking about the tariffs. And Nick got into some details and made some phenomenal points and just kind of showed you guys what's sort of going on in the world right now and the reality of what could happen to scootering and what could happen to other action sports alike. I want to jump on here and give you guys I just want to really say this is quick. This is a quick little where I'm at with the whole situation, right? I'm not going to get...
A little more context is he owns and operates a scooter shop. He has a pro deck partnered with Scooter Company. So this is like, I would assume he'll be very knowledgeable. I guess that's what he's saying is his like
super
quick
political
takes.
On you guys. I think a lot of you guys you don't watch this channel to watch politics. If you guys want to find that out, you can go to another channel. You're not going to find that stuff here. But I want to talk about scootering as a whole. I do want to start off by saying, nobody knows what's going to happen right now. It is such a mystery. Something could change tomorrow. Every 15 minutes I check on Google, there's something new on the tariffs. There's this new percentage. Like it went from 5% to 10% to...
Thank you so much for the sound.
Something could change tomorrow. Every 15 minutes I check on Google, there's something new on the tariffs. There's this new percentage. Like it went from 5% to 10% to 20% to 50%, like, and this is all in the span of like a week and a half or 2 weeks. Like it's just gone up.
Where are my boards made? They are made in California, I believe. I could check the full pipeline. I was gonna meet up with the guy. I'll meet up with him and ask him some more questions. But I was wondering if the tariffs would kill my boards as well. But the warehouse is in California. I'm not sure what the full process is though, but I could figure it out.
Crazy. So. I don't know what's going to happen right now. I do know that it is scary for sure for the businesses that kind of operate within scootering. It's super scary, and all the businesses that operate within BMX and skateboarding and making chips for your iPhone. Like these are all scary industries right now, and then they're all
a little bit panicked. I would assume scooters are made in China, but I could be wrong. I would just think any kind of big metal-y type thing would be made in China, to be cost effective, but I do not know that for a fact. Is there an American-made scooter company? Like, I don't know. There definitely wasn't an Australian one.
All a little bit.
Most bikes are made in Taiwan.
Although I will say the whole RIP scootering thing, I think that was a little bit too far. I've been here for so damn long. Like I've been in scootering for so long, and I think somebody that's been in this sport for 15 plus years, I've been in here for almost 25. You guys would remember a point where scooters were in fact made here. Were they expensive? Yeah. Hell yeah, they were expensive. It was a point where the Phoenix Reventon deck was a $300 scooter deck, and if you wanted...
I remember scooters being like $800, and I'm like, oh, whatever. I don't know the exact amount, but like being very expensive and being like, whoa, what the hell? Why is it that much?
To get a fully custom scooter, you were paying for it. Damn right. Like it was going to be a $900 scooter, a $1,000 scooter. And we saw those $1,000 scooters kind of often, which was wild. And this was a long time ago. This is when I worked at Scooter Zone in Wildomar. So I don't think making scooters in America is just so far-fetched that nobody can even understand it, right? Because we've done it before. Now, that being said, we're going to take Envy, just because it's an easy example. Let's just say they wanted to make a...
Honestly, I enjoy, whatever. Everyone says I'm the political fence sitter, blah, blah, blah. I say we're talking about skating, not politics. I agree here. We're talking about how does this affect scootering. So I agree we're not talking about politics, but it's funny to me to watch him see how he walks the line with his audience, because it obviously makes sense for us to just be happy-go-lucky skate, happy-go-lucky scoot, no politics, blah, blah, blah. But it's interesting for me to see how he's handling himself as well.
Prodigy, they want to make 20,000 of them like they usually do. Much harder to do here, for sure. The $200 scooter to make here is so damn difficult, and it's just not possible. It's simply not possible to make a $199 scooter here in the States. It is so much more expensive to get material here. Labor is way more expensive. Rent, things like that. That a scooter goes through 200 hands before it reaches yours. I just don't think that it's realistic to make a scooter at that price point here, especially in that amount of mass, with that amount of scooters that Envy makes. It is very difficult. It's a very different equation to make it here. Now, the reason I think the whole RIP scootering thing was a little bit far was because now a lot of people are looking at scootering like, maybe I should just quit now because I don't think it's gonna be here in 4 months. That's not the case. I started riding at a point where there were no sponsors. There was no money in it. You just rode your scooter because you wanted to enjoy it, which I think so many people have lost that now. If you guys like riding your scooter, like riding your damn scooter. Stop worrying about like, oh, I gotta get sponsored, I gotta win competitions, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Just ride, dude. Just ride your damn scooter. I don't know when
I agree with that.
This whole like new repertoire of getting a status for riding and trying to climb this ladder that doesn't even matter, really. Like, do you ride scooters because you enjoy riding them, or do you ride scooters because you want it to pay you? If you're riding it because you want it to pay you, you're not going to last that long.
I guess what I would say is that if there isn't this ecosystem where the top people at scootering can make a living, can dedicate their time to scootering, can film video parts, can like push the sport forward, if you lose those people, like rollerblading, for example, rollerblading doesn't really have those people because it is actually dead, whereas skating and scootering isn't dead. When you lose those, it kind of loses like the culture behind it and the driving force behind it. So then it becomes more like pogo sticking or unicycling or whatever. You love unicycling, go unicycling. Hell yeah, no one's going to stop you. But like, scootering and skating, they have this kind of like culture around it. They have all these other people like in like unison doing the activity kind of thing. Whereas like if it does fully die, then you're kind of just alone. You're a random unicyclist alone in the world, So I get what he's saying too, and I 100% agree that like you should do things for your own motivation and not trying to make money out of action sports. But at the same time, is that you do have to acknowledge that that's how it goes as a whole. It moves.
You're simply not. If you're looking for something out of scootering just for your own benefit, as opposed to doing it because you enjoy it, you're screwed. It's not going to work out for you. I'm sorry. Now, if you have goals like you want to become the world's best rider, you want to win world championships, but you love scootering, and regardless of if you go to world championships and win $10,000 or whatever, if you go to world championships and win $500, but you're still happy to go because you have that one goal, because you love scootering, that's different. If this equation right here works because you love scootering, if that's the core of everything, that's great. But for those of you guys that are thinking like, oh, scootering might not be the same in 6 months, so I'm just going to quit because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to climb that ladder that I wanted to climb. Well, if that's what's going to knock you off your high horse, you're screwed already. If you want to ride your scooter because you enjoy riding your scooter, ride your scooter because you enjoy riding your scooter. Ride it because you love it. I'm 33 years old. I've broken 60 some odd bones. I've got...
Yeah, we're the same age. 60 bones? What the heck, dude? We're the same age. A random unicyclist is alone in the world might be the saddest sentence I've ever heard. Hey, the unicycle community is thriving. They did make their own Tony Hawk's Pro Skater unicycle game, but it had to be made by like a single developer, and I bought it and played it on stream once. There's my homie who went and did the Hollywood high tricks, hit the kink rails. You can make it happen. I'm just saying it's very different than if you in a thing with a large amount of participants.
So ride it because you love it. I'm 33 years old. I've broken 60 some odd bones. I've got so many concussions under my belt. If I was doing this just because I wanted some kind of benefit from it, I would have quit a long time ago.
60 is too many bones.
Like I said, I wanted to make this quick, and that's kind of the one thing I wanted to step on, was if you guys are so worried about scootering, you disappearing, it's not going to disappear. Will it change? For sure. Everything's going to change. That's how these things go. Is it great? No. Is this going to suck? Yeah. This is not going to be fun. What I will say about like owning a shop, is I think a lot of shops are always at a race to the bottom. What's the cheapest you can possibly get the scooter to a customer for? And I think that's cool, I guess, for the customer. That's great, but it hurts a lot of the shops because there's not a lot of money made within the scooter industry right now. I think it's kind of time for scooters to get a little bit more expensive, because even through all of this inflation that's happened within the last 4 years, scooters have stayed the same. Everything's got more expensive. Electricity's got more expensive. Rent has got more expensive. Labor's got more expensive. Food's got more expensive. Everything's got more expensive, but scooters have kind of stayed the same. They've kind of fluctuated a little bit, and margins have changed. Like some margins have gone from, again, a lot of you guys aren't going to care about this, gone from 50% to 42%, 8%. That's kind of like a big gap. So I think it's kind of due. Like scooters, I hope it doesn't get to the point to where it's $500 for an MV Prodigy. Of course, I don't want to see that. I would like to be at least affordable. Like if a Prodigy went from, let's just say, $200 to $300, I think it's a big jump. But again, I think it's been due for a while. Like a $200 scooter is a bargain.
Interesting that he really made this video. His audience is very much Braille. Why does that not let me load his page? It's very much kind of Braille-y vibes. Like, let me show you an example. Why does that not let me click on it though? What the hell? Doesn't like his name. Like, I'll show you some of his biggest videos over the years. Like, testing the scooters. He would do kind of challengey type stuff. BMX vs. scooter. World's smallest scooter. Bouncy ball wheels.
I'm going to jump down now.
But, like, obviously he is a commanding... Oh, what happened here?
Step back and chug jug, you feel?
Chug jugging. I'm going to jump down now. Did you see that?
Let me guess, it breaks?
Here we go, dude. Ready?
It's gonna break.
Oh no, dude!
Classic. But yeah, it's interesting that he made this kind of talking head video on his channel. I mean, it's an important topic, and he's kind of like a voice in scootering. He's kind of like a pioneer role, mentor role, old head role. But still, it's interesting to sort of hear this and see this.
How many hands that scooter's gone through, and for you to get it for $200, it's bananas. But again, I hope that it doesn't stay at the 154% that it's at right now, because I think if everything came in at 154%, I don't think that's realistic. That's kind of my thoughts on everything right now. I think making things in America is possible. Is it hella expensive? Yeah, it's really, really expensive. Materials have gone up ever since Phoenix has been around. And that's the only reason I refer to that is because
I did doubles with him.
I was around when they made American everything. The thing that we're all hoping for in the scooter industry
is that I did a rock to fake and he aired over me. I could be misremembering that. Or maybe JD aired over him and I filmed it. Yeah, maybe that's what happened.
For making the amount of toys that they make that are imported here, and if we can get an exemption, if toys get an exemption, then we'll be okay. Even if we get an exemption to the 154%, if we get it.
I mean, I don't really see why scooters or toys should get exemption. If you're going to do the tariffs, do the tariffs. Don't like half-heartedly do it.
20% or a 30% increase. That's actually doable. We could do that, and we could continue to make their scooters over in China. Same with all the other scooter manufacturers. Would scooters get more expensive? Hell yeah, they would. I think they're going to get more expensive no matter what. But that's at least possible. So I'm kind of praying for that right now. But I also am hoping that you guys don't see these videos on tariffs and just think, okay, it's time for me to quit because scootering is not going to be here in 6 months. That's not the case. I'm going to still be riding my scooter in 10 years.
So I think this is an interesting video because no one watching this video will watch and then quit. But the people that won't scooter are the people that may have scooted before if they were going to buy one, but now it's too expensive that they will never consider beginning. They're the people that are going to quit. Not anyone watching this video is going to quit. If you clicked onto this video, they're definitely not going to quit. But the person that's going to quit is the parents are in the store. Should we buy this scooter for $500? Oh, no, but if it was $200, I would have bought it. Like, that's the person who's not going to ride anymore.
I think a lot of you guys are going to say the same thing. You guys aren't going to quit just because money's not within the sport right now. I hope that you guys love scootering because you love scootering, not because it benefits you. But that's kind of my 2 cents on it. Like, again, I didn't want to get super detailed. I didn't want to get into the numbers with you guys. I just want to tell you guys kind of what I'm seeing, things that I'm feeling, and things that I'm sort of hoping for right now. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be back next week to put some riding videos up Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Those are the days that we're uploading. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the channel, and much love to you guys. See ya!
He seemed kind of like nervous energy in that video. But shout out to Raymond. Love his stuff. Legend of the game. Keep up the good work. I love the discussion. I think it's interesting to be transparent with the audience like that. I think that's really cool. But yeah, I don't think that any kind of economic policy could ever kill skating or scootering or whatever. I feel like it's to a point where it's more powerful than that kind of thing. It will definitely hurt, and it will definitely hurt in the way that, like, you know, small scooter shop or whatever, like, that he owns kind of thing, will struggle to be open, and then it has to close, and then everything has to be online, and then when it's online, there's no demos, and, you know, that's the kind of, like, trickle-on effect. But I think usually, like, things find a way. Like, the whole thing of the tariff is that it's this big disruptor, and then it kind of like refigures itself out, like you prune the tree or whatever. But I don't know. I guess we'll see how it all unfolds. I'm still kind of interested to see how it unfolds in skating, but I don't know. All we can do is really just go forward and see what happens.